He was 69 years old when doctors told him he had 3 months to live. 3 months. His body, they said, was riddled with cancer. There wasn't enough time. Most people break under that kind of news. They give up or give in, but not Mike Fremont. Instead, he did something most people would never think of. He didn't beg for more time, he built it. Today, Mike Fremont is 103 years old. He runs, he rows, he eats like a monk, and more importantly, he lives every single day like someone who got a second chance and refuses to waste it. So, what did he do? What did Mike Fremont change that helped him not only survive cancer but thrive for over 3 decades past his death sentence? Let's rewind this story. Chapter 1st, the diagnosis that changed everything. It was 1992. Mike had already lost his wife to cancer. He was raising 3 children and he ran a small business. Life was already heavy. And then in middle of all of that, he started feeling sick. Something didn't feel right. The diagnosis came like a hammer. Colorectal cancer, also known as ball cancer, a type of cancer that develops in the colon or rectum. It was advanced and inoperable. He asked the doctor what his options were, and the answer was none. The cancer had spread. He was too far along. 3 months, the doctor said, and in that moment, Mike had a choice. Surrender to the system that just wrote his obituary or go off script, and he chose the second. Chapter 2, a radical shift. Mike didn't just change what he ate, he changed everything. First, the food. Within days of his diagnosis, he eliminated all animal products. No meat, no dairy, no processed foods, no sugar. Instead, he filled his plate with plants, whole foods, grains, vegetables, fruits, and legumes. It wasn't trendy, it wasn't even well accepted in the 90s, but Mike had a gut feeling and nothing to lose. And second, the lifestyle. Mike stepped back from his business, the source of much of his stress. He began walking outside every day. He started paying attention to how his body felt, how his breath moved, and how the world around him could either heal or harm. He let go of alcohol, he let go of late nights, he let go of any habits that were dragging him down. He didn't just clean up his plate, he cleaned up his life. Even more importantly, he made a mental shift from passive patient to active participant. He says, the moment they gave me 3 months to live, I realized no one was coming to save me, it was all on me. That shift may have saved his life as much as the food did. 3 months passed, then 6, then a year. The cancer stopped growing. Then it started shrinking. At 2 years post-diagnosis, doctors were able to surgically remove what remained of the tumor. No radiation, no chemo, just food, a change in a lifestyle and a mind that refused to quit. Chapter 3, Becoming an Outlier. Most people after beating cancer at 70 would consider that enough and hell of an achievement. Not Mike. Instead of slowing down, he started running, not metaphorically, literally. He began training for marathons. He wasn't trying to prove anything to anyone else, just to himself, that his body still worked, that he wasn't broken. By the time he hit his 80s, Mike had set world records for the mile, the half marathon, and the full marathon, all in his age group. Just so you know, half marathon is a 13-mile race and full marathon is a 26 miles race. He ran those in his 80s. At 100 years old, he ran a half marathon in just over 3 hours. Let that sink in. 13 miles and 192.5 yards in just over 3 hours at the age of 100. Most people that age can barely walk unassisted. Mike, he is doing interviews after a 13-mile race. So what's his secret? Let's find out in chapter 4, his longevity rules. Mike lives by a simple code. It's not some cryptic secret, but most people don't follow it. First, eat plants. He attributes 90% of his health to his plant-based diet. Oats, berries, tofu, greens, beans, no supplements, no animal products, and no nonsense. Second, move every day. He runs, he rows, he walks. Even in his hundreds, Mike keeps his body in motion. Third, eliminate stress. He downsized his business, focused on advocacy work, took up hobbies, and walked away from stress. Fourth, sleep and rhythm. He maintains regular sleep, eats early dinners, and lives aligned with his circadian rhythm. And fifth, purpose. Mike speaks at events, supports environmental causes, and advocates for plant based nutrition. His life still has momentum, a reason to keep moving. Chapter 5th. Science catches up. When Mike started eating this way in the early 90s, most doctors thought he was crazy. But today, research backs every single move he made. Plant-based diets reduce cancer risk and recurrence. Chronic inflammation, the driver of aging and disease, is drastically reduced by eliminating animal products and ultra-processed foods. Exercise and movement protect telomeres, strengthen mitochondria, and boost the immune system. Stress reduction slows biological aging. In short, the science now confirms what Mike's been living for decades. He wasn't lucky, he was early. Chapter 6. The Man Who Refused to Die. Every time Mike tells his story, he ends with this: I have no intention of stopping, I have too much life to live. He never saw himself as a hero, just a man who got a second chance and refused to waste it. And maybe that's the real takeaway here. We keep looking for secret pills and shortcuts. Mike Fremont didn't take a shortcut, he just changed everything. Not out of fear, but out of respect for the body he was given. And he's still out there at 103, showing us what's possible when we stop surviving and start living. If this story moved you even a little, hit that subscribe button. This channel exists to tell the stories and science of those who defy aging, so that we all can take inspiration from them and live life a little longer and healthier. And if you want to see 5 real places where people regularly live past 100, check out our exciting video on Blues Horse. It's a powerful follow-up to Mike's story. Thank you for watching. Now go live like you mean it. I will see you in the next one.